Reports have emerged that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, ex-Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, and other key opposition leaders have agreed to adopt the African Democratic Congress (ADC) as the platform for their coalition in the 2027 general elections. The national chairman of the ADC, Okenwosu, confirmed the party's involvement in the talks. In an interview with the press, Wosu revealed that the ADC has been in discussions with Atiku, Obi, and other prominent opposition figures and political parties about the possibility of forming a coalition for the upcoming elections. And can a coalition unseat Tinubu in 2027? Questions will be answered by a media market and broadcast journalist, Treasurer Timi. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing today?
We are good over here. Enugu is fine.
Okay, just as the topic says, the question is, can a coalition unseat Tinubu in 2027? I just want to get your response on that.
Not the one we have now. Not the ones that we have now in the country. There is no coalition. There is no opposition because they are not well organized. So as we speak now, I don't see any coalition and opposition that can unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. That's my take, and I stand by it.
Okay, sir, moving forward, I mean, with what was just read out about the coalition that's going on with Peter Obi as well as Abubakar, who is the ex-Labour Party presidential candidate, and Peter Obi, who was the former vice president, and wanting to adopt the African Democratic Congress as a platform for coalition. Don't you see this as a way forward to, enabling the Labour Party as a strong opposition party against APC in the 2027 election?
Well, talking about Atiku Abubakar, who was the former vice president of Nigeria and who has contested for the PDP presidential tickets all the time, and then Peter Obi, who was the presidential candidate of Labour Party, to me, they are not being sincere to each other. That is the truth. They are not being sincere because if they were sincere to each other in 2023, they would have defeated Bola Ahmed Tinubu in that election. But because they personal ambition, selfish ambition, not able to come together to harness the opposition that they had. So it's going to be difficult for them to unseat you because if you watch what is happening in Nigeria now, a lot of governors in the PDP are decamping to APC. A lot of House of Rep members in the Labour Party are decamping to APC. They're not even coming to PDP, coming to APC. So it's going to be difficult for them, except they are sincere. And look at what happened to Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State and former 50 minister, joining the SDP. So the opposition leaders are not sincere to themselves. Now, El-Rufai has gone to SDP, and then now Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar are talking to ADC. So it tells you one thing, that the opposition leaders are not speaking with one voice. Now, if they all come together and speak with one voice, I bet you it might be very difficult for Tinubu to come back in 2027. But what is on ground now, I say it to you and I say it to Nigerians who are listening to us this evening, it's going to be difficult to unseat Tinubu in 2027.
You rightly said that much as we expected, especially the body language at the time, that Atiku Abubakar, who was PDP flag bearer during the 2023 election, and Peter Obi, the flag bearer of Labour Party 2023 general election, we were seeing something that looked like them teaming up with El-Rufai, moving to the same party where El-Rufai moved to, that is SDP. I was going to even ask you, what became of that arrangement? We were expecting a coalition with that party, and then this new development of ADC. What do you think actually would have happened to make them deviate from the expected plan?
Apparently, Atiku Abubakar believes that he's the only person that is qualified to run for office as president. And I don't see why he keeps contesting. Someone said he's a serial contester. I mean, a contestant for that position. And for me, I think at this point now, Atiku Abubakar should sit down and support either Peter Obi or any other person from the South. Because right now, the presidency is still in the South. The northern part of the country did their 8 years. And I think it's time for also the South to do 8 years. And so if anything will happen, Atiku and El-Rufai should have come together to support a Southern candidate in the person of Peter Obi. And if they all come together and put all their resources and weight behind Peter Obi, of course, it might be a very difficult, thing for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. But at this point, El-Rufai is in SDP, while Peter Obi and Atiku, they are wanting to go to ADC. I don't see it working. Because even the Labour Party that came, that party just came. Well, if you look at Labour Party and the Obedient Movement, they were two separate entities altogether. The Obedient Movement just used the Labour Party, to field Peter Obi and give him that support. But at the moment now, all the people that even won election under Labour Party, with sympathy. Imagine there was a guy who won, who contested I think in Kaduna, an Okada rider, that won. Also in Enugu. Some of them have left the party. They've left the party to go to another party. So what do you think of Labour Party in 2027? Labour Party may not even, Obi is not even sure of being fielded by Labour Party. So, and the ADC you are talking about, ADC is also, listen to see, majority of the parties that you see today are just an offshoot of APC. And that's what people will not tell you. They will not, even SDP that you are saying, the president candidate of SDP, of course, is very close to President Tinubu. So what do you expect? So every fight going there, I'm sure they didn't do a good calculation. So that's why I said selfish interest comes in here. But, if they are sincere to themselves and say, look, it's not about me, but it's about the country. So for me, if Atiku will listen to me, Atiku should step aside. He should just forget about being president because it's obvious that he's not destined to be president of this country. He had an opportunity, when he connected with Peter Obi, he didn't do, nothing came out. And if he was wise in the last election, he would have supported Peter Obi wholeheartedly. And I bet you if he has done that, something good may have come out of it. But the way it is going now, President Tinubu is one man who believes so much in, playing real politics. And I say real politics. For instance, you can see what happened in Delta State. We're also hearing now rumors that the governor of Akwa Ibom State is also going to join APC. And so at the end of the day, how many governors are you going to have from APC and then from PDP? So to me, opposition is gradually, dying in the country. A time will come now in the National Assembly. Now, I'm sure the senators now they have about 80 of them in APC. So how many? And then you have 109 senators. So how many is left in PDP and other parties? So these are the things I'm saying. So it's going to be difficult, pretty difficult for this opposition guys to form a coalition because everybody is thinking of those. Okay, if you can't beat them, join them. That's what's happening in Nigeria. So it's pretty difficult for any coalition or any opposition. You can see what happened when before APC was formed, against Jonathan in 2015. You see what happened. You see how many people came together. AMPP came together, CPC came together, ACN came together, and then some part of PDP, they call it the new PDP then. They all came together to form a formidable opposition. And of course, they defeated Jonathan. So these are the things you need to understand. These are the things you need to know. So for me, someone who's watching what is happening, with keen interest and who's interested in what's happening, the point is that we do not have a proactive coalition of opposition leaders in the country that will be able to defeat the current Nigerian president, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that is the truth and nothing but the truth. But except all of those guys come together under one party. I don't even know. I don't care which party they're going to come on for, but they must work together. If everybody is against them, if Peter will be an article on another side, other people are. So what do you think? Is going to happen? So that is the point. So there is no cohesion. There is no understanding. There is no togetherness among the opposition leaders that we have in the country, and so it's going to be very difficult. And except God, who is God, we don't know who's going to be alive in 2027. But the truth about it is that with what's happening now, it's going to be difficult for the opposition leaders to form a coalition.
I guess we'll have to revisit that because I would need you to be more explicit on some of those challenges and hurdles that could be crossed, assuming that would be given a consideration. A coalition could be given a consideration to the point of unseating the incumbent president. But looking at Tinubu's chances, apart from the sentiment of the electorate, do you see a figurehead that can actually sway the election, either for Tinubu or against Tinubu in 2027, even within APC?
Well, the truth about it, see, the whole thing is President Bola Tinubu is a thoroughbred politician. He is one man who has made friends across all the political parties. He's one man who has raised leaders. He's one man who had friends everywhere. You know, you're not be surprised that even the ADC you're talking about, they might actually be working secretly for Tinubu. So when they go into the ADC, the chairman of the party, ADC had a presidential candidate. You remember? The presidential candidate in 2023 election. Now they have that person. You think he's going to just give way for Atiku and Obi to take over the party? Just like what SDP told El-Rufai. And look, they're for me, and some of them, I think the SDP also have the faction, and some of them said, look, they are for Tinubu. So it's going to be very difficult to penetrate all of these guys. It's going to be pretty difficult to penetrate all of these guys. And you know, Nigerian politics, the way we play politics is that if you can join them, of course, and you can also be a spoiler. Can be actually be in a party and be a spoiler for a major political party. So these are the things that happens, and it may be difficult. It may be a difficult thing to do. So these are the things you need to understand. So for me, like I always say, and I say it again all the time, it's pretty difficult to have a formidable coalition and opposition against Tinubu because of the kind of politics that they play. Now, National Assembly, you're gonna see what's gonna happen. They may end up having all the senators join APC. Those guys are very desperate. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the challenges that we're having. Now, if you don't have a strong voice among all these political parties, what do you do? What do you do? So these are the points. Now, if all the PDP governors now are joining APC. So what happened to PDP? The only governor in Abia State now is Alex Oti from Labour Party. Now we also have PDP governors. So what happens to the rest? So these are the things you need to understand. So it's pretty difficult to actually ascertain this. That is the truth.
During the build-up to 2015 general election, the election that produced the former president Muhammad Buhari, the merger that happened was somewhat smooth, and the flag bearer chosen received maximum support from party members and the rest of the contenders. If perchance this coalition sees the light of the day, however it happens on whatever platform, do you also foresee an absolute or near absolute support for whichever candidate emerges the flag bearer of the party?
Yes, if like I said, if they can all come together under one umbrella, yes, it may work. It may work. But with them not being divided, we have SDP, we have ADC, we have Labour Party. It's going to be pretty difficult to be able to put, that string that APC pulled during Buhari's era. During Jonathan's era to defeat Jonathan. So, but this time around, the Jagaban in service strategies when it comes to political manipulation. So, all this thing you see happening among the previous governors trying to come to APC. What do you think is happening? It's all of them is geared toward having having a very weak opposition. That's what is happening. That's what is happening. So it's going to have a weak opposition so that they can't even talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things you need to understand. You understand? So it's going to be pretty difficult. It's going to be pretty difficult. That is the truth. Because what is happening
Been
now,
emphatic
the
about
opposition is
it being difficult on
opposition is
sitting
very good.
President Tinubu come 2027. But I'll
It's going to
need
be
you
pretty
to be
difficult.
explicit about something. Given the current political landscape in Nigeria, what key factors really do you believe will determine the viability of a coalition? It doesn't matter around which people it would happen, because who we are hearing about currently, Peter Obi, what he's doing, Atiku, what he's doing, their coalition or not, even if it happens any other way, what are those qualities that will make for a viability, the viability of a coalition?
That's what I'm saying. That if you watch Nigeria now, who are the main political gladiators? Do you understand? Who are they? It's basically Peter Obi, basically Atiku Abubakar. These are the guys that are, are the opposition that you can talk about, in the country. So these are the guys that without them now, you can't talk about any opposition. So except we have some persons that can really do all of this thing you are saying. But so like I was saying, if you have other people that can play that game, let them play the game. But for me, I think it's going to be very difficult, very, very difficult for anybody to unseat Tinubu at this moment now, because we have not seen the right guys who will come together and play the game. That's the truth.
Treasure, are you still there?
Yeah, did you hear what I said? I said it's going to be pretty difficult now to have any opposition that will unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because number one, they are not coordinated, they are not together, they are not one. So it's going to be pretty difficult to have a strong and viable opposition, that will unseat him in 2027, except they all come together under one umbrella. Without that, I'm sure you can't get any tangible result. And that is the truth. That is the truth.
Okay, Treasure, you've just highlighted the possibilities of this coalition to unseat Tinubu in 2027. Can you highlight some of the challenges that could possibly the party could be faced with, and while forming this cohesive coalition, and how can they overcome the deep-seated rivalries and also conflicts of interest amongst others?
When people are selfish, when people don't have one mind, when they don't have one mind, when people are selfish, they don't have one mind, what do you expect? Okay, Atiku want to become president, Obi want to become president. So what do you think? Except they come together, except they sit down and say, okay, you go, you become president, all of us will queue behind you. Without that, they can't get a formidable opposition. If all the opposition leaders, all of them now say, okay, look, let us support Peter Obi, let us keep behind Peter Obi, we don't care what the party. Do you understand? And everybody comes together and they have a particular, agreement or whatever they want to do. I say, okay, look, we will queue behind you. You now see a formidable opposition. That is that. Without that, nothing can happen. Nothing can happen. If you look at the political situation in this country, you will know that when anybody is in power, there's so much power in the presidency. There's so much power in the presidency. That's the reason why you see a president will travel and leave the country for 2 weeks or thereabouts, and nobody can talk. Nobody can see anything. And there was a particular day when the president and the vice president were out of the country. We're out of the country. If I go here, I want everybody to talk. If I go here, so we're out of the country. Do you understand? And governance was at a standstill. So who does that? And even the president was traveling, he did not do the official handing over to the vice president. So there's so much powers attached to the presidency, so much powers. So until our constitution is reviewed, this country was just running on what I call the autopilot democracy. That's what I call it. That's what I call what we're practicing in Nigeria. Autopilot democracy. That's it. People just do things they want to do because there's power. The president, you not hear the presidency. Who is the presidency? That is the truth. So opposition in this country needs to know how to play the game. That's the truth and nothing but the truth.
Regarding the influence of mass movements, particularly with what happened during the 2023 election, the obedience movement that I'm not sure something like that has happened in recent dispensation. Do you also see that as a factor in the coalition efforts?
It worked then because Nigerians were well prepared to make a change. But what happened? When the chiefs were down, we all checking out. People checking out. Nobody could talk again. Everybody checking out. And I tell you now, right now, that coalition may not work again. It may not work. That movement may not come again. That movement may not work. That is the truth. It may not work. It may not work. Did you hear me?
Treasurer, let's talk about the public perception of under Tinubu's governance. Do you think that is a determining factor of this perception by the public? Peradventure, there is a coalition.
Willing and ready to take the bull by the horn. That is the truth and nothing but the truth. We talk. We can talk. Social media has made people start talking anyhow. People don't even know what to say. We just want to go to social media and just say something. Until we are ready for a change in our democracy, we're not going to go anywhere. People talk and you're being hunted. You're being arrested. You're being silenced. And the people who are supposed to come out to defend you will start blaming you. You talk too much. Can't you just talk a little and just forget about it? So what do you want to do now? So these are the things you see. To be honest with you, there must be a revolution in the country. If there's no revolution, because we do things and get away with it. The politicians have turned this country or have turned everybody to become beggars. They have introduced poverty to the highest level. And so because someone is hungry, he collects 5,000 naira, a wrapper, bag of rice or whatever you want to give to them, and vote you in for the next 4 years. And what happens? The poverty, you see what's going to happen next year, 2026 now. They will start going to the street again to start eating corn with people, joining people on Okada, women frying akara. They will sit down with them and eat with them. And at the end of the day, what's going to happen? People will start hailing them. This man is a good man. Hey, this, that. And at the end of the day, what happens? They go and vote again, queue, in the streets and and vote them again. And then the next 4 years again, they start going through hell. If you look at the country now, how many people are really living a good life? Except the politicians. Now you see what they talk about empowerment. You keep buying up. Somebody said something the other day, say you keep buying keke napep for people. Is that what graduates are going to be driving to make ends meet? You buy grinding machines for people. I mean, are those things called empowerment? And you see people hailing them on social media. I call them the E-rats. That's what I call them. The E-rat media guys. That they pay them 50,000 for data. They go and start praising. Now, the question is a governor, should a governor be appreciated for pay salaries of the civil servant? Should a governor be appreciated for building roads, for constructing roads in rural areas? Should the government be appreciated for providing potable drinking water for people? These are basic things, amenities that you as a governor, you are supposed to provide for people. But in Nigeria, my country, I see where civil servants will praising governor for paying their salaries. I mean, not with his money, but it's a norm now. The governor can just wake up and decide not to pay salaries. And what is going to happen? NSC will make noise, and then they call for a meeting, and then they go back home with Ghana must go. And then tomorrow they call off the strike. So what do you think is going to happen? But there were days that the NSC will ground the country, and the government will be forced to change those decisions, even during military era. But today, where are they? They will tell you, don't talk to the president like that, don't insult the president, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. This is about personal things. It's not about the masses, it's not about the country. So we're in a serious, I call it the perilous time in democracy of the country. We're in a serious perilous time. People are not happy. People are suffering. You earn 500,000 in a month. It's not even enough to take care of your family. People that even earn 200. How much is a bag of rice? How do you buy fuel? How do you pay your students' school fees? So these are things you need to look at. And the government of the day is busy, thinking about 2027 when we are still in 2025. It's appalling. It's annoying that in the first 2 years of your government, you've not even done a review. Okay, what's happening to the country? You took away, fuel subsidy. How has it affected the common man? These are things you need to. A lot of people, for instance, for me, I'm not a political appointee. I just do my own hustling. But every day I get requests for money from my people. Every time you get a request, I've not eaten since yesterday. My family has not eaten. My children are not eating. And then you begin to wonder, how much do I earn? I'm not a political appointee. I don't have any kind of budget that I'm controlling. I just hustle for myself every day. And I get paid for whatever I do. And yet I have kids I'm also to take care of. But the point is that you get requests that you can't even say no to. Today, if I tell you how much I've spent to people, it will shock you. I mean, you'll be shocked that people have called me, and I'm not a political appointee. So you can understand what I'm trying to say. So it's annoying and it's crazy when people do things that this country, we don't understand what actually is happening. So for me, for people of opposition, Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are tired of everything has increased. Power has increased. Even the data that we use that was even cheap those days. That we used to say, okay, let's even use it to help ourselves to at least get ourselves happy. It has increased. You buy the data now. How many gig now? In less than few days, it's gone. So it's difficult to say we have a coalition of people who will come together to unseat the government of the day. We are not ready. Nigerians are not ready. Look at what happened in Kenya. Look at what happened in Burkina Faso. Yeah, that young guy is doing so marvelously well. Yes, he's a military guy, but he's doing very well. Because the people are tired of all of this, political. I mean, I don't know what right was to use for them. Someone would look at the other day. We were told that 793 duplexes were taken away from the former CBN governor. I mean, in the same country, how can one man wake up because he's CBN governor to go and build 799 units of duplexes? Just look at it. And people are still defending him. People are saying, no, it's not him. No, he did well. He didn't do well. In China, try it. You'll be hanged. You'll be executed. And that's the point. That's the point. So it's going to be difficult because the moment you are shouting, you are talking, and then they give you an appointment, you keep quiet. Or they just say, okay, name your price. And then they pay some money. Then tomorrow you start defending the
subject matter. Let's even look at some of the chances or some of the issues, the indices that could be addressed by the players, those who are making efforts for a coalition. given Nigeria's diverse ethnic, or away from Nigeria's diverse ethnic and regional dynamics, there's also the the religious part. Do you think that this coalition, or that a viable coalition, should also address this? And I'm talking about this because the current government has Muslim ticket. Do you think that if a coalition comes up and also address this issue and all other issues that could be appealing to all, that were different groups, different ethnic groups, different religious groups, that if they do this while avoiding alienation, that it could make them viable enough to begin to consider unseating the president?
How many persons today remember that there's a Muslim candidate in Nasoro? How many persons remember? How many? Do you remember that there's a Muslim candidate in the country? You don't see. Even you talking there. Do you remember that Tinubu and Shetima are Muslims? You don't. You don't. If they have performed well, nobody will bring up this kind of issue. That is the truth. During Abiola and Kingibe, the Muslim people voted for them overwhelmingly because they believe in their capacity to perform. So the issue of religion is not what we're talking about. We're talking about people who can change things but are not together. That's what we're addressing. Let Atiku stop contesting. Because all he's doing is to have people queue behind him as a presidential candidate of any coalition. And also, Peter Obi is also looking at that. So except these two guys sit down and say, look, okay, you go. And who is going to go? That is the point. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, all of the. I mean, what I'm trying to get at. Atiku is no longer viable to contest. Because right, number one, he's from the north. And we still have 4 more years for the south to take, because the north took for 8 years. So if any northerner should come now, it's not Atiku. It's you should go to the south first. Let the southerner come. Let all the coalition rally around behind the southerner. I'm not advocating for Peter Obi. I'm not a member of the Labour Party. But I'm saying that if it means that Peter Obi is the one that the coalition will queue behind, then so be it. And then let's see if he can unseat the the government of the day. But another Atiku, which is from the north, is not going to. There won't be a balance of the balance, as in like from the north to the south. So the northerners should actually for now should forget about contesting for presidency of the country. They should support whoever is coming out from the south, and that's the truth. Nothing but the truth, but that's the truth.
Right, media marketer, broadcast journalist, Treasurer Timi Dare, thank you for joining us. In analyzing that poser, can a coalition unseat Tinubu in 2027? And largely, your opinion is that it's almost impossible because we don't look prepared to actually form a coalition viable enough to unseat the president. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you for having me all the time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
After the break, we will return to have more interview sessions. Stay with us.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.